Have you ever just stopped and thought about the invisible architecture that runs our entire world? You know, it's not made of steel or concrete. Nope, it's made of code. I mean, think about it. The way you do your banking, how you navigate your city, even the diagnostics they run in hospitals. Pretty much every single thing in our modern lives is powered by a computer. We've gone through a revolution that's been faster and bigger than anything in human history. And that's the real question, isn't it? We moved so fast, but did we actually build a solid foundation? Or is our digital world, well, a little more fragile than we like to think? Okay, let's dive into this. To even begin to understand the risks, we first have to get a handle on the sheer scale of what we've actually created. So let's start with the basics of our computerized society. So here's the crucial point. This isn't just about having laptops and phones. It's a fundamental change to society itself. We've literally shifted from an economy based on making physical things to one based on processing information. And in this new world, data isn't just data. It's the most valuable resource on the planet. And you know what? For the most part, this whole shift has been absolutely incredible. The promises that were made at the dawn of the digital age, they weren't just met, they were wildly exceeded. If you look at the big picture, computerization created entirely new industries and jobs we never could have dreamed of. It gave us products and services that feel like magic, and it generally raised the quality of life for a lot of people. But what's really cool is how these huge ideas actually play out in our daily lives. Just think about it for a second. In medicine, expert computer systems are helping doctors make faster, more accurate diagnoses. In banking, we've got instant access to our money 24/7. GPS has basically made getting lost a thing of the past. E-learning has opened up education to anyone with an internet connection, and government websites give us direct access to information. It's a world of unbelievable convenience and efficiency. But every promise has a price, right? And the great peril of our world built on information is that the information itself can be turned against us. And this really shows the other side of the coin. Yeah, we're more connected digitally, but we often have less real face-to-face social interaction. That pressure to constantly learn new tech skills can ramp up our stress. And let's be honest, our screen-focused lives can lead to a whole new set of health problems. So this is where a really crucial idea comes into play: computer ethics. It's basically the moral compass we need to navigate this new digital world. It's not just about what's legal, it's about what's right. And this big idea breaks down into 4 key issues we all need to understand. These are the 4 big pillars of digital ethics. First, privacy. Who gets to know what about you? Second, accuracy. Is the information that's being stored about you even correct? Third, property. Who actually owns your digital footprint? And finally, access. Who holds the keys to all this data? The answers to these questions really define the kind of society we're building. And that privacy question is a huge one, because this tracking is happening all the time, often without us even realizing it. It's not just your browser history, it's cookies that act like little digital breadcrumbs following you from site to site. It can even be nasty stuff like spyware or keyloggers secretly recording everything you do. This surveillance is constant and, for the most part, totally invisible. Now, this ethical minefield opens the door for something even more direct and dangerous: computer crime. We're moving from just passive risks to active, malicious threats. Okay, let's clear up a common mix-up. We throw the word hacker around all the time to describe a cybercriminal, but traditionally, a hacker is someone who explores a system just for the fun and challenge of it. The real criminals, we call them crackers. Those are the people who break into systems with malicious intent to steal, disrupt, or destroy. And the main weapon in a cracker's arsenal is something called malware. That's short for malicious software. Just think of it as a digital crowbar for criminals, a general term for any code designed to sneak into your system and cause harm. Now, malware usually comes in 3 main flavors. A virus is a lot like a biological one. It attaches itself to a real file, and when you open it, it spreads. A worm is a little more independent. It can copy itself across networks all on its own, just clogging everything up. And then there's the Trojan horse, which is the most deceptive of all. It disguises itself as a useful program to trick you into letting it right through your front door. And these tools are used for all sorts of attacks. You've probably heard of phishing scams, where they trick you with fake emails or websites to steal your passwords. Then there's ransomware, which is basically digital kidnapping. It locks up all your files and demands a ransom to get them back. And a denial of service attack doesn't even try to steal anything. It just floods a server with so much traffic that it completely crashes. It all sounds pretty grim, doesn't it? But it's not hopeless, not at all. As the threats have evolved, so have our defenses. It's time to talk about how we fight back and secure our digital world. Modern security is all about layers. The first and most common layer is something you know, like a password. The second layer is something you have, like your phone or an ATM card. And the third and strongest layer is something you are, a unique part of you, like your fingerprint or your face. The more layers you have, the safer you are. And for your own personal toolkit, there are 3 things that are pretty much non-negotiable. First, encryption. It basically scrambles your private data into an unreadable secret code that nobody can crack without the key. Second, firewalls. Think of them like a digital bouncer for your network, checking IDs and blocking anyone suspicious from getting in. And finally, data backups. Because when all else fails, having a recent copy of your stuff is the ultimate safety net. So this brings us right back to that central tension. We live in this amazing world built on data, and it gives us convenience and connection like never before. But it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. In this new economy, is our privacy an asset to be protected at all costs? Or is it a liability, the very thing we have to trade away just to be a part of it all? That's something to think about.